Yo, have you heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Wrestling Edition. Today, we have a very special episode for y'all today. We are starting one of the biggest wrestling weekends in recent memory. We're going to be previewing NXT Takeover 36 that's happening this Sunday, August 22nd. And we're going to be talking about the AEW event that is happening this Friday, and with the special someone showing up. Do we know that guy's name? Real name's Phil Brooks.
Phil Brooks.
I think you guys know.
Oh, the UFC fighter?
The UFC fighter who's 0-2. But I think he has I think he has a wrestling name that is pretty well known in the wrestling world. It's pretty nice and simple, by the name of CM Punk. We're going to be talking about that as well. And then in another episode, we are going to be previewing SummerSlam because that is on Saturday. So we got a whole bunch, but this one's going to be focused on NXT Takeover and AEW. And we got our guys with us, Mr. Consistent Jacob Mason. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And then the captain of the L7C, Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
We are doing fantastic today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So where do you guys want to start? You want to start with AEW because it's on Friday, then do NXT because it's on Sunday? Where do you want to start?
That sounds like a plan to me.
All right. AEW is going on Friday. Jacob, what's happening Friday with AEW?
So we're having the second episode of Rampage in Chicago at the United Center.
Mm-hmm.
And rumor has it CM Punk's going to show up. That's it. CM Punk's going to show up. I don't think anything else matters on that Rampage. I mean, I don't know if there's a championship match that night. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. It's Punk either shows up or he doesn't. That's it.
That's it. And everyone's talking about it. There was an NFL preseason broadcast talking about if they're thinking CM Punk's going to show up at Rampage on Friday. Like, this is wild times, and it's in Chicago, Illinois. You go on the wiki as of this Sunday, there are no matches listed for it. So Jacob hit it right on the head. If CM Punk's showing up or not, I'm going to ask Jacob first. Is CM Punk showing up? And if he does, what does that mean?
Man, is he showing up? I don't know. Are they going to have him show up then, or are they going to have him show up at All Out? Or Double or Nothing, the Chicago one they do. Like, which one does he show up to? I mean, you would guess this one. There's just too much hype behind it. Because if he doesn't show up, then everyone's like, oh, he's going to show up at All Out. Let's go. But I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, considering the only thing I'm worried about is if you throw CM Punk into this whole AEW thing.
Mm-hmm. Man,
what happens with the current storylines? Because CM Punk overshadows everything.
Yes, he does.
So I just don't want to see Hangman Page get screwed out of the title picture. I mean, I know his wife's about to have a kid, and that's why he's off TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to see him get screwed over because CM Punk.
Byron, what do you think? You think Punk is going to be showing up this Friday, or is he not? Or what are you thinking?
I think to have the biggest impact, he would have to show up on Friday since, it's SummerSlam weekend and he hates WWE. So the biggest, screw you to WWE would be to show up this Friday. But there's just like a tiny part of me that doesn't think he will.
He's been talking. He said, wrestling, and I quote, needs a kick in the dick. And we're about to just get there. So, I mean, I think he has to. I think he has to show up because the whole crowd's going to be doing the CM Punk chants all show. And if he doesn't show up, I just feel like it's going to wreck the mojo. But what Jacob said, I want to throw that question to you too, Byron. Like, if Punk shows up, he is going to overshadow everything in AEW. Like, do you think they'll be able to handle that? Because this would be probably the biggest star signing they'll ever have.
I think they can, because they're an up and coming wrestling promotion, and they're not under the whole Vince logic thing. So I feel like they know how to book their wrestlers right, and they've been doing a good job since they've started. There hasn't been really too many like bullshit storylines since they started. So I think they would be able to bring Punk in and still have the current storylines going, like with Hangman Adam Page, MJF, and all those. I think they'll be able to handle it.
Because I mean, he's going to be a top guy, and you brought up the Vince logic as we've named it. But if you look through AEW's history, there really hasn't been a young guy who's been champion, like the top champion. Like Jacob, I remember sharing a long time ago. Jacob shared while Jericho was talking shit about WWE making people old champs, and then Jericho won the title.
Yeah, that is true. They haven't had a young champ yet, but I think they're building Hangman Adam Page to be their first young champion.
But would they rather put the title on him at the time or CM Punk?
I mean, CM Punk would draw those.
Because I think CM Punk's going to be an instant title contender as soon as he gets there.
Yeah. It also depends on what, contract he signed. Like if he has to. True. So I think it depends on, current storylines. Like if they really want to push a young champion and what contract CM Punk signed.
Jacob, what do you think, man? Like, this is going to be the biggest person they ever sign. And this is a guy who Jericho even said has so much mystique around him because he hasn't wrestled since 2014. And when Cult of Personality goes off, every site's going to be talking about, like, what do you do with him? Because someone is getting the short end of the stick when Punk comes back.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just a sacrifice you have to make. Because I'm excited to see, like, ratings wise, what they do on Friday.
Yeah.
Because you have to imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof, possibly bigger than SmackDown. There is a very high chance I think they could do better numbers than SmackDown. Now, that being said, I mean, if I was AEW, I think I said this on a podcast or two ago, I'm having CM Punk come out at the absolute very end. You just tease it all the way to the very end, last minute, call personality, have him walk out, and don't say anything. Just walk out. That's all you need. Because your following Wednesday night ratings are going to be insane. Just come out. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Have a good one. He's outtaken. He'll outdo SummerSlam with that. He'll outdo NXT. He'll be the most talked about thing. That's exactly how if I'm AEW and Tony Khan, that's how I'm doing it.
I agree, because if you remember when they had that show on FS1 with like Renee, Paige, and Booker T, and they were talking about they had like a special person, and we heard Cult of Personality. We were just like, holy shit. That was the closest thing we got Punk back to wrestling. Then the next day, everyone was talking about how he was back, and then they fumbled with that show. But
yeah,
I do agree. He has to go last. And with Byron, just talking about, like, he's not even the second biggest signing that they'll get. I mean, he's going to knock people. It's going to be Daniel Bryan, or he'll probably be Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. But that are two. I know we talked about this weeks ago, but those are two Omega people coming. And I think Jacob said it right. It's a sacrifice that some people are just going to get put in the back.
I like your play on words there with Omega.
Well, there, Kenny's time will be coming. He ain't holding that belt with those two. With those two there, hell no.
No, you won't.
it's going to show how long AEW is going to be around, because these are two known across casual fan superstars. And with the return of CM Punk, I would equate it to maybe back in 2011 when The Rock came back for the first time in 7 years, and remember seeing that crowd explode. Like this is going to be wild.
Or more recently, when John Cena returned, that crowd went wild.
That's true, but this is in Chicago,
right? His
hometown. The hometown, but they don't. Again, man, he has to come because they don't even have matches on here. Like their debut episode that was in Pittsburgh, you saw Dr. Britt Baker. You saw her beat Red Velvet. You had Kenny Omega. We're talking about old people. Christian Cage winning the Impact Championship. Jacob, I know you're not really a big Christian fan, but what the hell was that? I didn't think Christian would just come in here and take a title.
I mean, honestly, it's the Impact title, so like, does anyone care? Just being real. Honestly, I think AEW really dropped the ball on that. I mean, like, really dropped the ball on. This is the first episode. Like, yeah, they knew they were going to, like, they focused on Britt Baker because they were in Pittsburgh. It's her hometown. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. But the truth of the matter is, me and my wife were like, hey, do we get tickets? Do we not? You know, we got going back and forth on it. And I was like, they really don't have any matches. And then the Wednesday before, they announced, like, Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega for the Impact titles. I'm like, I could give two shits less. Like, I just didn't care. I'm not spending money to watch that match. It'd be cool to see Kenny Omega, but man, I just didn't care that much. Like, plus, it's only an hour long too. That one I didn't know. Now I know they had like a ton of like dark matches and stuff, and they did Dark Elevate, or yeah, they recorded stuff for Dark Elevation, which is cool because seeing like some of the local people get on Dark Elevation was cool. But yeah, other than that, I care less about Christian Cage winning anything.
I mean, I'm okay with it because I originally thought he won the AEW title. I was like, that's strange, but I feel like with Impact, he can go, you know, maybe hopefully build up a young guy, have a young guy take the title from him. But we'll see what they do with it. It's very, very interesting to say the least.
Right. And with that, just with Rampage is starting right after SmackDown. So it's starting at 10 o'clock.
But they'll record it beforehand, though.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you pay attention, I mean, I'm sure it's going to, if Punk shows up, we're not going to have to wait until 11 o'clock to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone will leak it.
I mean, it will be trending as soon as it starts, and we'll know. But yeah, we're excited. That's the first night of this wrestling freaking weekend. Almost feels like WrestleMania. Now we're going to go to Sunday with NXT Takeover 36. Man.
Yep, 36.
36. And currently we got 5 matches on the card. And the main event's going to be Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe for the singles match for the NXT Championship. But we're going to go to one of Byron's favorites who's going to be on this card, the champ Walter. He is going to be defending the title against, man, I don't even know how to say this guy's first name.
Ilja, I think.
Yeah, Ilja. But he has Dragunov. Yeah, Dragunov. So Walter, I feel like he's been champion for like 10 years, literally.
It's been almost 2 years now.
Byron, does your guy lose the title?
I don't know, because I know they have been building up Ilja since they first wrestled. I think it was like 6 months ago. And they've been building him up ever since then to maybe usurp Walter. But Walter is so hard. I don't know if he loses. It's like with title changes, like when you have like a new up-and-comer, it's like very hard to choose because you don't know which direction the company is going. You don't know if Vince has his hand in it, because that whole rumor that Vince doesn't want midget wrestlers anymore. So I don't know. I'm gonna say they're gonna crown a new champion. I'm gonna say Ilja Dragunov wins.
Jacob, how you feel about this Walter match? Do you think Walter is gonna retain? Do you think Dragunov's gonna take him down? What are you thinking?
I think it's gonna be match of the night, hands down. Not even close. I don't think anybody's going to come as close to having a great match as these two are going to. If I was putting money on the match, I would bet on Dragunov to win. I was kind of shocked when Walter beat Bad News Brown back at, I think it was after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but like I was kind of shocked by that. But I mean, these guys have wrestled before. It's a freaking awesome match. Let it ride. Give it to Dragunov. Change it up a little bit. I'm good. But honestly, if Walter wins, guess what? I'm good with that too.
Oh, yeah.
I got no problem with it. They've booked this match right.
And then I also go back to the last time they had the UK Championship on a takeover. It was Pete Dunne versus Walter, and Walter won. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Ilja Dragunov winning.
Got you. You both are probably right. I'm just going to go Walter because I don't think there's going to be multiple title changes on this takeover. I only think there's going to be one. So that's why I got to stick with the one I think it's going to be. But I think you guys are probably right. But I'm going to pick Walter on this one. Going from one champ to another, Raquel González, the champ, going against Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. Jacob, the betrayal has finally happened. They are going to go at it 1-1-1. Who do you got winning this match?
What's it? Not Dakota Kai, the other one. Whatever.
Raquel, the champ?
Raquel. Yeah, Raquel. The most blandest NXT Women's Champion of all time. I'm going with her. I'm going with her.
Oh, hold on. Can't just say that and leave it. Jacob, why do you think she's the most blandest NXT Women's Champion of all time?
I just can't get behind her. I can't do it. I can't. There's something about her. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, meh. Everything's very meh about her. She's like the female, like, Christian. I just don't care.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to ride Dakota Kai's coattails all the way to the championship, bro.
Wow.
Not a fan. But yeah, she's going to win.
Byron?
Yeah, I think Raquel's retaining this one. I just don't see them pulling the trigger on Dakota Kai. But the last feud she was in against Tegan Knox, they had Dakota win. So I don't know. So in this match, it's very hard to see like who's heel and who's face. Because like Dakota Kai turned on Raquel. So she's supposed to be the heel, but Raquel has been a heel champion.
Mm-hmm.
So heel versus heel never really usually works out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say Raquel wins and she becomes a face. That's the only logical thing I can see.
I'm going to take Raquel. I think in middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, call it a day.
Do you guys remember when NXT used to have definitive faces and heels? They didn't mix this shit up constantly of two heels facing each other. You know, you guys remember that? Those were good times.
I do remember that.
Those were good times. God.
Well, no, crazy shit out here in this world. Let's go to LA Knight champ versus Cameron Grimes with Ted DiBiase singles match for the $1 million championship. If Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase must become Knight's butler. So, Byron, who do you got in this one? Grimes versus LA Knight, which before you say, even though we were so pissed months ago, at least LA Knight has a title, but carry on.
That's true. LA Knight does have a title. I want to pick Grimes, but the last time I picked Grimes, because I thought they were pushing him, they said, no, you're not going to win the NXT American Championship ladder match. Then he got thrust into this feud with LA Knight for the $1 million championship. But like, okay, Cameron Grimes is going to win. Nope, they said LA Knight's going to win. So I am going to go with LA Knight because apparently they don't like Cameron Grimes anymore.
Jacob?
To the fucking moon, boys. to the moon. Cameron Grimes.
I knew as soon as
Cameron Grimes.
Grimes.
All day, every day. Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase. We're going to walk down that ramp together holding the $1 million title and watch. You watch. What'll happen is Ted is going to hand Cameron Grimes like a stack of money for the belt, and they're going to walk off. You watch.
I agree. I probably think it's going to be right, but it's almost, I got to stick up for LA Knight out here because he was getting pooped on at the beginning. And this guy was a big signing, and he lost his first 2 matches. And I mean, Ted could be a butler. That's a free paycheck. He doesn't need it, but shit, maybe you could bring your son back. I don't know. But
he can certainly afford it.
He can afford it.
But he's just going to end up getting fired anyway.
Well, shit. I'll go LA Knight. So I was surprised that Jacob didn't have this match that was going to be the match of the night. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3's falls match. Fall 1's a singles match. Fall 2's a street fight. Fall 3, if not, man, come on, we know Fall 3 is going to be necessary. A steel cage match. So Jacob, who wins each match of this, and then who's going to come out on top?
I'm going to say Adam Cole wins the street fight.
Okay.
Kyle O'Reilly wins the normal match.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Kyle O'Reilly wins the steel cage match because I think Adam Cole's going to the main roster.
Byron?
Actually, I'm going to go reverse. I'm going to say Adam Cole wins the normal match. Kyle O'Reilly wins the street fight. And then Kyle O'Reilly will win the steel cage. That's Jacob's reasoning, because I think either since his contract, I think, ends right after Adam Cole's contract ends right after SummerSlam. So if he resigns, I think he'll go to the main roster. But if he doesn't, I think he's going to go somewhere else. I don't know where else, but I don't think he'll stick around if he doesn't resign.
I'm going to go with Byron's order, too. I think, because Adam Cole's going to win the singles, then Kyle O'Reilly wins 2 out of the next 3. And then, like everyone said, he's going to the main roster. There's already rumors that they were trying to give him $1 million a year. But to Jacob's thing about midget wrestlers, Adam Cole is not a midget wrestler, but there's a lot of people who are bigger than Adam Cole. He's not even bigger than almost like the top tier women. And I know there's some Twitters. I'm being serious. I don't care, but there's some Twitters who really harp on that. Like they put him like, this was your NXT champion. And then they have a picture of like him next to like Rhea Ripley, who's freaking jacked. And it's like, he can wrestle. So that'll be, I'd be nervous for him being on the main roster, but I think he is going to be on that main roster, or he is going to be going elsewhere. I don't think he's going to go to AEW because that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Like there's still a lot of people that they need to sign, but yeah, Kyle O'Reilly, unanimous for the L7C. All right, main event. Karrion Kross with the beautiful Scarlett versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. Jacob, last time we were here, you went off about Karrion. We are back again talking about Karrion up against the returning Samoa Joe. Someone still needs to let us know why the hell he couldn't wrestle on WWE but can wrestle at NXT, but that's a whole other thing we will investigate. How's this match going? Who you got?
I'm going with Samoa Joe. Karrion's going off the main roster. Someone's got to lose to Jeff Hardy, so it might as well be him. So,
do you have any expectations for this match? I mean, hard hitting, like what do you? They're both good.
I expect it to be hard hitting. Like, it will be a good match, I think. But I don't know. I just know Karrion Kross is like the good times we had with him in NXT. I know they're just done at this point. So I'm just I'm not really looking forward to the match just because we know he's going to the main roster. We already know how that's worked out for him.
Yeah, he's already on the main roster wrestling on Mondays, like you said, losing, and he's going back and forth with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, good times.
No disrespect, Jeff Hardy, though. No disrespect. Byron, main event. Who you got?
I also think Joe is going to win because, Karrion's going up to the main roster. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. I think it might be match of the night if Walter and Ilja doesn't put on a show. I definitely expect Karrion and Joe to put on a show because they are both dominant wrestlers. And this new passion that Samoa Joe has is just invigorating. When he showed up and choked out Adam Cole, it was awesome. So I think it's good. They're going to put on a great match. I expect Joe to win and the crowd to chant, Joe, 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 Joe.
So my man Samoa Joe was calling WrestleMania in the storm. Yes. Both fucking nights. Got let go Tuesday.
Yes.
Pissed everyone off.
Allegedly. Then his substitute was there for like 2 weeks, and then he got let go. And he's like, no, I can't do this. So then he comes back to NXT. And this is obviously to the fans, but this is directly towards WWE management. If my man Joe doesn't win this title, I'm going to bitch so much on our review that it is going, because he deserves this damn title for sitting in the damn rain and then y'all giving him his papers on Tuesday. Karrion Kross, as Jacob said, it's been an honor, sir. You provided great memories on NXT, but you're going to be going to Raw, and it's been an honor, sir. You've done great. You beat Finn Balor at a takeover. That was the apex. You came back from the injury. I didn't like how you beat Keith Lee, though, but that's a different story. But it's truly been an honor, man. Scarlett, take care of your husband up there. You're gonna need each other a lot, because y'all ain't even going to SmackDown. Y'all going to Raw. So,
well, Scarlett may be going to SmackDown, because I've heard she's been on some SmackDown like pre-show tapings or wrestling dark matches.
I mean, she's no longer part of his entrance, so
right. Like, she hasn't been seen since he got called up to the main roster.
Scarlett can be on.
Well, hold on, Martin. I know what you're thinking. The question you need to ask yourself right now, does it make sense?
If it makes sense.
It doesn't work.
Why doesn't it work?
Because it's not going to happen. Because of Finn's logic.
You're learning.
My girl Scarlett's going to be out there losing to Selena Vega and Carmella.
Dude, it's going to be battle of the ex-managers.
Selena versus Scarlett.
Let's go, boys.
Joe's got to win. And as of right now, when we're recording, because obviously we got a lot of episodes to get out, but there's probably going to be a tag team match thrown in there potentially.
They're probably the women's tag team match, because MSK fights Imperium on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll review those. We can't preview them because they're not official yet, but we definitely will review everything on our review of this. But now I'm sad because I'm thinking about them split. That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you depressed, Martin.
No, it's okay. I just had
I'm just giving you what Vince has given me. All right. It's absolute garbage.
Absolute garbage.
This is wild, but God damn it.
Since we're talking about NXT, and I know we haven't done a podcast since the NXT firing, recent NXT firings, and the whole debacle between the power struggle between Vince and Triple H, and how Vince is upset that Triple H lost a Wednesday Night War, even though he doesn't think AEW is competition. Air quotes. Like, what the hell is going on?
First of all, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is not about to disrespect my man, the godfather of NXT, Triple H. He's going to have to come see me. That was disrespectful. And you can't say you lost the war that you weren't even in. You literally said the day before, I don't see them as competition. WCW, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Oh, release superstars. They can have them. But then you're mad at Triple H for losing. There were times where NXT had higher ratings. than AEW for the most part, but AEW did have the higher ratings, but it's not like
for like 3 times. That was it.
3 times, true, but it's not like they were like AEW had 1 million people, that NXT had like 40,000.
Right.
Like it was never like that.
Yeah, that was super close.
So it's like, dude, what the hell ever. But those NXT firings came. Bronson Reed, that one pissed me off because I'm like, did this dude just win the North American title and had the big celebration? And then he was talking like, there's always one or two that you're just like, as Byron would say, they were just some storylines last week.
Him, Bobby Fish. Literally just wrestled on Tuesday against Roderick Strong just to get fired on Friday. During SmackDown.
That was the wildest part. I'm watching SmackDown and I'm looking at Twitter and they're like, all these, I'm like, wait, what? SmackDown's going on right now. We're releasing people and the people are getting papers in the middle of the show.
That good old Johnny Ace phone call.
CM Punk's 2011 promo with him and Cena sitting there signing the contract for their SummerSlam match. That promo will live forever. And obviously it's not as impactful as the pipe bomb, but it's just so true. Like, oh, Johnny, you call him like, hey, kid, I'm sorry. And then everyone talked. Aleister Black talked about he was at the gym and he got that call from Johnny Ace. He's like, hey, kid, I'm sorry I had to do this to you. But like, I think Vince needs to be the one making the calls.
I agree.
I think Vince needs to be in the psychiatric ward.
Also agree.
I can't even say that because, 48. Someone on, I forgot what reporter, but they're like, you think Vince gives a fuck about these releases? He made $48 million during COVID with no fans. What does that tell you?
I mean, I know he doesn't care. It just still pisses me off. Like, even though we're still in a pandemic, but we're not in a pandemic. Like, these are people's livelihood, man. You're just firing them for bullshit reason. Oh, we don't have the budget for you, but we just made $48 million and $1 billion on Peacock. Come on, man.
So technically, from those two alone, and we don't know anything else, in 2020, they made $1 billion and $48 million off those two. Like, and I just saw today that there was rumors where the confirmed, as Jacob calls it, blood money Saudi Arabia events are booked.
I saw that on Twitter before.
I didn't read it yet.
Sweet.
But
I will not be reviewing that pay-per-view.
Jacob, you have bad memories from that one.
I got bad memories. I got bad memories. Shit, half the roster's got bad memories of getting like held hostage on the runway and not being able to leave. I just had the Fiend get buried, which I just kind of got numb to it after a while. Just pissy about it.
Fiend got buried. Let me see. Now we're off topic, but Saudi Arabia. Fiend got buried. Undertaker almost died.
Yeah.
They brought Shawn Michaels back, which was terrible because he had the greatest ending probably ever. The only thing I liked about Saudi Arabia is John Cena said, I ain't fucking going. And stayed home.
John Cena, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
I think Daniel Bryan said,
Bryan said, oh yeah, especially when him and Cena were family. He said, I ain't going, bro. He's like, my basically his brother-in-law said, he ain't going, I ain't going either. Fuck you.
Gotta respect that. I mean,
yeah.
And Kevin's like, I ain't going because Sami ain't going. If Sami goes over, he's going to get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like John Cena's like, I'll see y'all in Australia. I ain't going to Saudi Arabia. You got me fucked up. Tribal Chief with them would be there though. They have no issues. But I will say with the hostage situation, it did give for one of the better SmackDowns of every NXT run and shop.
Oh yeah. That very fast.
Yeah, back when NXT was good.
I think that probably is probably my favorite Survivor Series, like lead ups, probably in the past 10 years, if I'm being honest.
God, that was back when they were a third brand.
Mm-hmm. And they won everything.
No, wait, not for that. They're more developmental now.
They don't treat them like that, but they won everything. And I remember Seth Rollins coming on Raw blaming everyone.
That's when he became the Monday Night Messiah.
Mm-hmm. He said, Charlotte, the queen, but you out here losing the NXT. Get out of here. I was like, oh, Seth, that's the wrong girl. She can have your job taken.
The snap of her fingers.
You know what? Hey, if we're going to talk about Charlotte, let's talk about old Ricky Flair, the most beautiful man in the world. The man shows up to Triple
the most
A.
Beautiful man in the world. Really?
I always joke around with my wife.
Oh.
So that she's going to listen to this and be like, God damn it.
I was going to name, I could name some other people on the roster as
Ric
well.
Flair's gorgeous, man. But anyways, Ric Flair shows up to Triple Mania last night.
He did. Figure 4 leg lock and some chops at 190 years old.
God bless him. Tells Vince, hey, I want out of my contract. It shows up with the son-in-law, like, what's up? Let's do it. Love it. Shout out Ric Flair. You're the fucking man.
Flair.
You know what's crazy too? Now we're talking about it. Obviously, Punk and Daniel and all stuff, but when Charlotte was trademarking other shit, honestly, that would have been the biggest AEW signing of all time.
Oh, for sure.
That women's roster, oh my God. If they would have signed Charlotte, telling you.
No.
Hey, she was getting ready.
That's fine. She was getting ready, but she would not have been the biggest signing. No way. Because there's one person. There's only one
Here
person.
We go.
Every podcast.
Every podcast.
Well, no, it's not her.
Oh, it's not her.
Hey, shout out Tessa Blanchard. Where you at, girl? But there's one person who's a bigger signing than Charlotte when it comes to the women's roster. And that is AJ Lee. AJ Lee would be way bigger than Charlotte.
Bro, I don't know, man. Do people remember who AJ Lee is?
People remember AJ Lee.
Hardcore wrestling fans do.
I think even casuals remember AJ Lee.
But that's a wrestler, not CM Punk's wife.
Yeah. Listen.
That's tough, bro. Because
what is it?
I hate Charlotte Flair, but goddamn, that's the biggest woman star in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
You throw AJ Lee in there, boom. You throw. Yeah, no, I'm sticking to my guns on that one.
That's tough. AJ has a wrestle. She actually went out on her own terms too. That WrestleMania, her and Paige, they beat the Bellas, and then she's like, "I'm gonna leave my Chuck Taylors in here and leave." I was like, "Damn, you really leaving? Shit's getting good with the women. You got some people coming up in NXT. Like, the hell?" But
man, she would have some good matches.
I mean, the 4 horsewomen, each of them would have had like 2 less titles than what they have now.
Yeah.
And then Carmella would never have a title.
Oh,
not if AJ was there. Fuck no. Asuka, I think, Asuka's on vacation. She said, "I've done enough. I'm chilling."
Good. She deserves
it. Her. She deserves it.
She said, "Yeah, I'm a fold on this round robin we're doing with me, Charlotte, and Rhea. I'll bow out and put someone in there, insert Nikki Cross." But we'll be talking about WWE in our SummerSlam review. Anything else we got to hit on the NXT AEW previews? Like, I'm so excited for this weekend, man. And we still haven't reviewed SummerSlam, which we will be doing in a couple hours.
I'm trying to think of anything else. The big NXT firing / Vince being a jerk and saying he doesn't want midget wrestlers or people over 30. Which I don't understand because
here he goes, Byron.
Not first off, you don't have to call them midgets, they're just short people.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the short people can put on really great matches. Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly,
Shawn Michaels.
They're all Shawn Michaels. They're all short people who have had amazing WWE matches. So I'm not sure, like, why you say, "Oh, short people can't be the stars of the future." Obviously, people love great wrestlers, and it shouldn't matter on their height if they're good or not. That whole Vince logic is just terrible.
Yeah.
The over 30 thing is killing me because
Goldberg.
We will talk about that on the next podcast.
Okay. If this needs to get edited out, I'm sure this can get edited out.
Oh,
Do
boy.
we talk about one of the biggest drama fests that has been in the past 3 weeks? Do we bring up Max Caster of the Acclaimed in AEW?
Well, we're under 40 minutes, so we can bring it up. So let's go ahead. Go ahead, Jacob. Tell the people what's happening. And we'll end on this.
Oh God. So Max Caster is one half of the Acclaimed. He comes out and he raps out to his theme song. He raps whatever he wants to rap about. And he cuts hella promos on people and says some very controversial things. What were the exact quote from? Anybody remember the exact quote?
I just know Simone Biles was listed in the thing.
Yeah,
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, whatever.
I just know,
so he talked about
I can bring it up right now. Hold on, I got you. Okay. But keep going. Max, what's his last name?
Caster. C-A-S-T-R.
Caster.
Damn me.
So I'm trying to go through our group chat. There's a lot. All
right, here we go. This should be following his suspension. He referred to the recent mental health struggles of Simone, and he brought up the Duke lacrosse scandal. And his, so that was really it. I'm trying to find the exact lyrics, but keep going.
Anyways, he cuts a hella promo. Some very, very controversial things, some very heelish things that he said for both better and worse. He cut this promo. He is now allegedly suspended by Tony Khan. The wrestling world blew up on this, which even we were torn as a group on our group chat. I feel like we were torn on this one. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I was like, damn, that is heel as shit. But like Byron was, you were not happy about it.
I was not.
So it always kind of drives me up a wall because you see so many freaking the internet wrestling community, which is the most dysfunctional family on the planet.
Family's a strong word.
Oh man,
Family's a strong word. I don't fuck with them. Fuck with y'all, not them. They piss me off because of what you're about to say.
All right, so it's everybody wants the Attitude Era back. We get some very controversial shit, which would have flown back in the 90s, no problem. And people are either, I was kind of shocked at how much this divided people. This was some like you're either completely okay, like I wouldn't say completely okay with it. You either understood it or thought it was like the biggest bullshit on the planet.
I got the lyrics.
Am I wrong here, boys?
You're right, but let me get the lyrics out. He said, "The Acclaim kicking ass for miles, make you claiming mental health like Simone Biles." People were upset about that. Then he spit a line saying, "Sydal is going to pay the cost. I'm going to treat those bitches like Duke lacrosse." That was a reference to when 3 members of the Duke lacrosse team were falsely accused of rape. And then, yeah, those were the 2 lines. And he's been suspended. And he's not the first to be suspended, though, from AEW, because Sammy was suspended in 2016 about his comments about, Sammy was suspended about his 2016 comments about Sasha Banks. So he ain't the first, but honestly,
at the same time, like,
go ahead, Jacob.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say.
I feel like
go ahead. I have the same thing you're about to say. Yeah.
I don't think this is like the worst thing he's ever said. Wrapping out to the ring, and this was on Dark, mind you. This wasn't like Wednesday night, like where everyone would see. This was just some Dark Elevation stuff. But the line he had about when he was wrapping out and he was facing John Moxley and he came out talking about his wife, Renee, however you pronounce her last name, Renee Moxley, as far as I'm concerned. coming out talking about like how she's trying to get him with these oral sessions, which is her podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I thought that was like way worse than what he said on this one. Especially when you're talking to a man's wife who's in the ring, who you know you're about to get shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, well, like you said, that's the name of which I've never understood why she named her shit oral sessions, but whatever. But with Max,
Why didn't we name the L7C that?
Fuck no. But with Max, though, I agree with the fact that it's true. The internet wrestling community, they'll bitch about, like, if you're watching WWE and they have some campy shit going on, but they're like, oh, I want some edgy shit. And then when Caster did that, they're just like, dude, what the hell are you doing? That's way over the line. It's like, you can't have it. You can have edgy stuff, but not, I guess it's tough. Because he did, in his brain, he thought, hey, Simone is one of the biggest talked about things on planet Earth right now for her dropping out of some of the competitions for her mental health. I'm going to capitalize that. And I'm going to get a name for myself and I'm going to be talked about, which you did. And I was just like, with the Simone thing, though, which I mean, he wasn't the only one on planet Earth making fun of that stuff, even though he shouldn't have, but he was rapping and all that stuff, but whatever. I really thought the Duke or Cross thing was the thing that really, like, we're like, okay, we're not going to be joking about accusing of rape. Like, I think that was the one that really set it over, because everyone's been talking about Simone having a opinion about that, but bringing back up the Duke rape thing, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But like Jacob said, he was trying to be a real heel, and that was super heel, but like, you can't have it both ways. And AEW is like, man, we're not even going to deal with this. We're just going to suspend you for a bit. So
I don't think he should have got suspended. I think that may be a little extreme. But like Jacob said, I didn't agree with what was said, because I'm a big proponent of taking care of your mental health, posting on Facebook and Twitter. But the one that, like you said, the one that sent me over was a Duke rape case. I don't think you should be making jokes like that, but I do get why he did it. He is a heel wrestler. He wanted the heat with it fans, so I get it. But I feel like there's other ways you can be edgy without making rape jokes.
I also think too, Jacob, with the suspension and with you, Byron, I don't even know if it was really AEW, but once you're on like TV and you have TV money, even though cons are rich, but you have TV contracts, you sometimes do got to bow to them, because they're the ones she's like, yeah. That's what I really think it was.
That's true. They're on TNT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's probably TNT. Yeah, you got to suspend him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it was on Dark Elevation, though, right?
Yeah, it wasn't on but the thing is that once it got on, everyone doesn't even know what the hell Dark Elevation is. They'll go to TNT like, hey, you're letting people from your show do this?
Yeah.
And then they're going to talk to Khan like, dude, what the hell is this? And then they're like, oh, we didn't see the rap. Like, well, shit.
Well, I mean, they edited it all out. I mean, it's Domino's Pizza 2.0.
But it's wild, man, like what you can bring up, what you can't. And I know comedians are dealing with that stuff too, because people are, I'm not saying in this situation, but there are a lot of people who are way too sensitive these days, but not in this situation. I was just like, oof. I was like, that's a little, I was like, I thought maybe he could have got away if he just stopped at Simone. But when he brought the rape, I was like, oh boy. Oh, that's never a good. It's never a good cause, but when do you think he's coming back? Oh, never mind. He said for 2 months without pay.
2 months?
Damn. Yeah, without pay.
That's extreme. Like, I get like a couple weeks.
Allegedly, yeah.
But allegedly, because how much do you want to bet? Like, hey, listen, we gotta cool you off right now because this is not great heat. So we're gonna put out like, hey, you're suspended for 2 months without pay. But in all actuality, like, here's some side money. Have a good one. Type deal.
Yeah.
Bet that's what's happening.
It's fun. We'll see. But 2 months without pay, has to take sensibility courses. So we'll see. Sensitivity. I said sensibility. My bad. Sensitivity courses. But that is it for the previews. Byron, Jacob, last plugs before we sign off. Eat your dinners. Use the bathroom before we come back and review SummerSlam in about an hour and a half. Yeah.
NXT, I think, is going to be great. I wish it was on Saturday instead of Sunday because I liked how it preceded like big WWE pay-per-views, but I'm still going to watch it. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Like I said, I think Karrion and Samoa Joe might steal the night if Ilja and Walter doesn't put on a show.
Jacob, anything?
Yeah, NXT, go back to your old ways. Your new ways suck. I'm not a fan of the new stuff, but it should be a good time. NXT always delivers.
Mm-hmm.
As annoying as NXT has been right now, or let me phrase that: WWE as a whole has been annoying right now. NXT always delivers when it comes to pay-per-views, so it'll be a good time. Also, shout out CM Punk. Let's go, buddy. Also, Tessa, I know you've been listening to the podcast, so you call me up so we can get you on here.
Man, we're going to have 2 Tessa drops in a day. We're going to have her on this one and the SummerSlam one. Wow. But yeah, all the things you guys said, NXT is going to be NXT Takeover. Takeover is Takeover. Punk, this is it, man. Got to show up. One last thing, and I'm surprised Jacob did not say this, from the L7C, congratulations to Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano on their future first child. I know this is going to sting a bit because that means Candice won't be winning the title anytime soon, but congrats on the announcement of you guys are going to be having a baby from the L7C, especially Johnny, because, Ohio.
But let's be real. She's not going to get a title anytime soon, regardless.
Her time was going to come sooner or later.
Well,
was it? No.
Well, she had the women's tag team, NXT Tag Team Championship for like 2 months.
That's true. But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you listen to this one. Make sure you definitely listen to the SummerSlam preview one at this time. We haven't even recorded yet. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be freaking fireworks. You guys take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.